Hello everybody, welcome back. Playing Tactics Ogre Reborn. Just did the opening scenes there, and this is our first kind of opportunity to actually check things out. We actually really honestly can't do much of anything right now. We have no money to purchase anything. The shop actually isn't even open. But actually we can go take a look here at the Warren Report. So this records a lot of the different things here. So battles, victories, allies incapacitated, allies slain, and then the play time in campaign days. Wheel of Fortune. Oh yeah, Wheel of Fortune can just shows you the progression of the game, and you can actually replay events if you want to see some new stuff. Or sorry, if you want to replay the events throughout the game. Tidings, yeah, these are just the same deal. It's just basically the scenes. The talk command is really important. So here it's got a couple of, there's actually 4 different topics here. Generally, you always want to be checking the Warren Report, and specifically the talk option to keep updated on the different things that are happening in the games. But this says, the first day of Godskill, the Bakram Valerian Kingdom celebrated the 2nd anniversary of its founding. Festivities were held across Heim to mark the occasion. Regent Branton Morn announced plans to mend damage done to the Hanging Gardens in the war. The Hanging Gardens are it's basically the final dungeon in the game, which is kind of interesting. And then 5 perished during the procession. A great tragedy has taken place during the Bakram Valerian Kingdom Foundation Day celebrations. A procession of the Dark Knights Las Lorraine has met ambush. No Dark Knights were harmed, but a member of onlookers were caught in the conflict. 5 were killed and another 21 injured. It is not known who instigated the attack. Next up is the Duke's execution draws near. So this is the Duke of Ronway. This is the guy that was leading, or was leading the Wallister resistance. So it says the Kingdom of Galgastan has announced Duke Ronway is to be executed in the coming days. The former leader of the Wallister resistance has been held at Almoric Castle since his defeat several months past. And then the last one that we've got available here, it says Zenobia on the march. It has come to light that the knights seen recently in the vicinity of Goliath hail from the kingdom of New Zenobia to the east. Some fear they may be scouts for a coming invasion, though they deny any such charge. They've taken up with a band of rebels, and a close eye will be kept on their conduct. Okay, people, generally, I won't go through much of this stuff, but if you want to take a look, this is a good way to get a little bit of background on the different people in the game. It can actually be pretty nice to be able to figure out who is who. But yeah, anyways, play guide. Again, I probably won't go through much of this stuff either, but some of the more important things maybe I would just say is RT. RT just basically means how fast your units will get their turns again. Generally, you want to have RT. The lower your RT is, the faster their turns will come back up. So most of the time, the generic units are pretty slow, or maybe I should just say that because it all depends on which class they are. But generally speaking, the characters who are non-generics, like Denim, Kashua, Vice, that sort of thing, they're generally faster than generic characters are. So, but again, a lot of that is determined by their class as well, and also obviously their equipment. Yeah, here it says the first thing that they say affects recovery time is your equipment weight, and maybe it's obvious, but the heavier your equipment are, and typically the better your defense is, though it slows you down, and so your RT will be reduced or increased. Your RT will be technically increased with heavier equipment, right? Because it'll actually make that RT number go up, which is a bad thing. So anyways, class. Each class has a base RT value. The RT of similar units will vary depending on their class, affecting the order in which they act. Previous attack turn. So each action taken during an attack turn will have an impact on RT. The distance covered with the move command and actions taken with the act and skills commands will all affect the RT that determines the unit's next attack turn. Equipment and spells also have RT values that are added to RT when the unit takes an action. Generally, I would say that this means that casters are and archers to some extent, although I don't really like archers that much this time in this game. Anybody that's not moving or having to use the move command to actually deal damage is at a benefit, right? Because just moving alone will make it so that your next turn will come up, slower. So generally, if you can take an action where you're already at, that's the way to go. Attack turn list. So it says when a unit is selected during battle, the row of units shown at the bottom of the screen indicate the expected AT order. So this is a good idea to just take advantage of. If you're about to perform an action, you'll be able to see who is going to be acting next and how, sort of anyway, like it can be hard to tell when you're getting your next turn because oftentimes there's so many units that you really have to look to you'll be able to like rotate to the right to see what your character, how far back your character is going to go. Although I don't know that that's all that relevant usually. It says it's crucial to stay aware of which units will be acting next. Try to eliminate unnecessary actions. There you have it. To stay ahead of the enemy. That's generally the best way to look at it. Incapacitation and death. This is kind of interesting. The way that the game handles incapacitations and death. It isn't. I don't believe it's just the very first time that you get incapacitated in battle that you die. But it says incapacitation. A counter appears above the heads of units incapacitated when their HP falls to 0. Each attack turn, the counter decreases by 1, and if it reaches 0, the unit dies. Incapacitated units can be revived with magic or items. However, they are not revived immediately. They are revived on their next attack turn. Until they are revived, they are not considered alive. If your entire party is incapacitated and or waiting to be revived, the party is defeated. And then death. The incapacitated units are deceased once the counter reaches 0. Deceased units leave behind a bag of loot containing their equipment and are permanently removed from your party. So, don't die. I'm not going to go really into the much of the rest of this stuff, though. Elemental hierarchy. This is basically just... yeah, you can see there on the left side has a really good chart where lightning beats water, water beats fire, fire beats ice, ice beats wind, wind beats earth, earth beats lightning. And then light and dark are just opposing, and you'll deal extra damage to the other element. Yeah, not gonna worry too much about the rest of this stuff because I really just want to kind of get going. HP bar overlay. Yeah, this is extra knockback. Buried treasure. What's buried treasure? Oh, yeah, duh. Sometimes when you end your turn on certain tiles, there'll be an item there. Right, let's go back, and let's move on over to Almorica Castle. We'll just knock out the first, probably couple of tutorial battles. Alright, so strongholds are made up of multiple battlefields, which must be fought back to back. You can save your progress before beginning the next battle. However, you cannot leave the stronghold until the series of battles is completed. It's highly recommended to use separate save slots within a stronghold. To save, press the Start button. To open the system menu, refer to the play guide in the Warn Report for more details. Yeah, so that's exactly what it's saying. You can save here on the screen, but once you've started a stronghold, you can't leave until you've completed all the battles. I never really found that to be that big of an issue, but I suppose it's possible that if you're not prepared well, then it could become an issue.
Are you the rebels what been hiding out in Goliath? Here to save your duke, is it? There's 2,000 Goth on that one's head, boys. Half the purse to him what brings him down.
Alright, vanquish the Paul.
A narrow stream, scarce 1 pace across. Easily jump this. Watch.
So here the Zenobia Knights teach you.
Look before, there. You can only jump to ground of the same height or lower.
Look before you leap, eh?
One of the winged, like me, moves with no heed of height or terrain.
Yeah, winged are pretty slick.
Even so, rushing in alone without someone to watch your back is asking for an early grave.
Always keep a close watch on the action to see who will move next. Avoid unnecessary actions and keep speed on your side. The distance a unit moves and the actions it takes determine how long it must wait to move again. The order in which units act is called the attack turn. Keep a close eye on this. You can sort units by order of attack turn to quickly tell which unit will move next.
When a unit's turn comes round, you can command it to move, act, or use skills. What's more, you can issue these commands in any order you see fit. Think on your choice as well. The command to move can be cancelled at any time. If you find a unit out of range for a planned attack, try moving it to a different location.
Units begin battle with no MP, that being the font of all magical power. Units accumulate MP gradually over time. Powerful magic requires greater amounts of MP, so think ahead before casting a spell.
Alright, so I'm actually playing with a controller here, and the command to speed battle up, which I think is phenomenal, is to push in the left stick. So I've done that. Trying to play on like normal speed is not fun. I don't really like it. So. It seems like every time I move there to that spot, you always pick up a mend leaf, so there must just be one there at all the time, at all times. But only once per battle.
Skills are divided into 4 broad categories: action, support, auto, and special. Units learn skills as they gain levels, according to their class. That just now was meditate, an auto skill. Auto skills will sometimes take effect before your turn comes around. Use this to your advantage. A conjurer of magics must do more than learn a spell to wield it in battle. You must assign each spell before you enter the fray. Assign spells to your units from the party screen. Be sure that you don't forget.
You'll need a class mark in order to change a unit's class. Some class marks can be found for sale in shops, but not all are to be had so easily. A unit's level doesn't change when they change classes, so if one class isn't working out, a new line of work may be in order. There's no reason to go making things harder on yourself than they already are.
To use common consumables, such as Mendleaf in battle, you'll have to prepare before you're on the field. Up to 4 may be ready. Best choose them with your unit's needs in mind.
Take heed of the enemy's element before striking. There are 8 in all. Air, earth, lightning, water, fire, ice, light, and darkness. Each element has its strength. Air against earth and so on. It can be enough to give you the edge you need.
Each unit has a level, but so does your party. Your party's level will rise as you lead them to victory in the stages to come. And remember, a unit can't advance beyond the level of the party.
One whisper of Ronway's execution and out you come, bold as you please. A rat can smell a trap, but not all rebels, huh? High time we were rid of your lot.
Support skills are just that, skills that provide some passive benefit to the user.
Which is silly that they didn't just call them passive skills.
When I move, you'll notice yellow points of light near me on the ground. This is a support skill called Rampart Aura. Any foes entering the range of the aura will be unable to move further until their next turn. Some support skills hinder the enemy's movement, while others might grant enhanced strength. Consider well your class and lay of the battlefield when choosing which to use.
Right, let's see here. Just gonna move a little bit. This battle actually reminds me a lot of the initial battle in Final Fantasy Tactics.
And we walked right into it.
Trap or no, we fight or we die. I've never let a Galgastani get the better of me, and I don't mean to start today.
Focus, Vice. Our first duty is to save the Duke.
Don't lecture me on duty. Your only duty is to stay alive.
You should not speak to Denim so. He was only trying to help.
It reminds me of the first battle in Final Fantasy Tactics because you only get to control your main character and everybody else is basically on auto.
Wait! You're no Wallisters! I know a man from Lotus when I see one!
Nice miss. Kashua and Vice will use a stone to get out if they get too low on health. But unfortunately, that also means that they can't gain experience if that happens. I can't actually really attack anybody other than this guy. That's not going to knock him back in.
Are you all right, Denim? You shouldn't let Vice get to you.
I'm fine, sister. Back to the battle.
So this guy just picked up a bag, but I believe if we kill him, we'll still get all those items anyway. Just gotta make sure that he dies before the leader guy gets killed. And also, you don't have to pick up the bags necessarily. Any bags that are laying on the ground will be yours after the battle ends. Yeah, see, so there you have it. He picked up all those items that the previous enemy had dropped. Get pincers. Probably not going to be able to get this archer down before the rest of the guys annihilate the main guy. But that's okay. There you have it.
Looks like our luck has turned.
And then he drops the bag. So that'll have all the stuff that he actually had, and then as well as all the stuff that he had picked up. Should be like, Dynast King's Mead times 3. Copperal Breath. Actually, yeah, it's not actually looking like that's the case there. He didn't drop the Dynast King's Mead, if you notice. Unless there's more. Okay, there's the second page, okay. So there's 3 Berserkers mark. I don't know if I don't think I'm gonna make Denim a Berserker. I did that one of the times that I played, but I think I'll probably stick with Rune Knight. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. Alright, so Denim, Vice, and Kosh will all leveled, whereas everybody else is at level cap right now, which doesn't really matter because they're going to be bailing pretty soon. Experience points are not awarded to individual units, but to the entire party. Each unit which participated in the battle receives a portion of the total when the battle ends. Only units who survive the battle receive experience points. Refer to the play guide in the Warren report for more details.
The way inside is clear. Stay on guard.
Leave the heavy lifting to us, Denim. Cover our flank. That's all we ask.
Okay, actually, so now I can, actually I could, oh no, you can't, you actually still can't even swap class quite yet. Let's see if I can change some things. So I could equip a hammer instead, which I'm not going to do. I don't really like the hammer. I don't think it's the hammers that I don't think I really like hammers that much. Which who knows, maybe that's not a good idea, or a good way to look at it, but. Alright, so Dynast King's Mead inflicts Breached. Breach is a really, really good status effect in the game. It basically lowers the armor value of units. It's really good on everybody. So here's the skills that I could equip. Actually, I'm going to equip a bow skill. So my plan eventually is to go with daggers and bows. Because I'll probably be making Denim into a ninja again. I really liked ninja the last time I played, so I'll probably do that. There really isn't much reason to equip any other weapon skills because he doesn't have those equipped anyway. Let's see. Yeah, and there is a... Who's got the bow? I'll probably Cannabis, which I can't remove anyway. So alright, yeah, that we're probably not going to be able to do much else here. Yeah, alright, so let's just move on. We'll finish this other... I believe after the this battle here, we'll actually be able to make some actual changes to our characters.
A fine time for this, with Master Nibeth away. Listen well. We faced the rogues who slew Bapal and his men. Underestimate them, and share Bapal's fate. Give these rebel swine a taste of Galgastani steel. Almorica shall never fall!
Alright, and most of the time, a lot of these battles have a one character that you need to defeat. It's not always the case. Sometimes you just have to kill everything, but there's a lot of the battles. I wonder if it's probably like 75% of the time there's actually one character that you need to kill. And after you kill that person, the battle is over. Again, it's not always the case, but it's surprising, actually, how many battles are that way.
Interlopers! Why do you meddle in our affairs? Our struggle with the Wallister goes back generations. It's no concern of yours. Or do you seek to claim Valeria as Lodis does? I will have your answer.
We are men without a country. We have lent them our swords because it suits us to do so.
And we're looking for mercenary work, as it happens. Not hiring, by any chance.
And worry you'll leave for a bigger purse? We don't need outsiders to do our killing.
He makes a good point. Let's rescue this Duke, collect our reward, and be done with it.
A craven who would choose lucre over loyalty deserves only one reward.
Okay. See how that turns out for you. Gildas really likes to use his shield a lot. One of the things I noticed was even as a ninja, it seemed like Denim was kind of a beast, right? I think especially if you go into like more, maybe like more heavy, like a berserker or something, he's pretty decent. But I actually really like Ninja. Again, not that it's super relevant right now, but I actually really like Ninja because of its movement, its ability to get around the battlefield. So yeah, that's my guess. I'll probably just do that again. I was really happy with that the last time I played, so. But yeah, as of right now, unfortunately our options are. Vice usually gets picked on, I noticed, for the first couple of battles. For whatever reason. I don't know, maybe it's because he's got the fists and he doesn't have like a shield. Well, I don't really have much of an option, so let's pick on that guy. Oh, a parry. There's Vice will bail.
Sorry, Denim. I'm out. And I'd better not hear any grumbling.
Bye, Vice.
My life for Galgastan.
So whenever the guest characters use shift stones to leave battle, they don't count as incapacitation, so I'm not going to sweat those. I think the last time I played... No, I was going to say the last time I played through, I tried to avoid that, but I know there were some times where I just didn't, and I didn't really care that much. Again, they're not counting as incapacitations anyway, so I don't really care that much. There we get our a couple of Knights marks as well, so those were kind of nice. Although I think Knight might be one of the classes that you can get right away. But I suppose if you want to make Denim into a Knight, then I guess that's good. Alright, and there, Denim and Kashua level to 3. Whereas Vice didn't, since he bailed early, he didn't get any experience there. Which, whatever. Again, I don't really care that much.
The taste of freedom is sweet. You have my thanks. Sweeter still that Wallister youths came to my aid. Denim was it. Doubtless you and your friends are a gift from the Great Father himself. The Wallister boon is great, and our future bright.
We are not alone in our loyalty. Upon word of your Grace's release, many Wallister have left their haunts for Almorica.
And there is still time before the Galgastani come to remedy my freedom. Though not long, I fear. We must regroup. Now I must ask if the tale our guests have told us is indeed the truth.
Upon my sword it is. We are outcasts from our land.
I do not doubt your sword. It is the whiskers of your companion that give me pause. I hear a diviner matching his description was ever at the side of King Tristan when your new Zenobia came into being 2 years past, and that you, Sir Lancelot, were captain of the Holy Knights. Is the Saint King so brazen as to cast out the very men who placed him upon the throne?
I too have heard tell of this, diviner, but I am not he.
Lodis plagues us with the Dark Knights, Lothlorien. How do we know that you are not some new menace visited upon Valeria? If New Zenobia does not seek to usurp, I would have your proof.
Your Grace, these holy knights risked their own lives to win your freedom.
A man can claim knighthood only when he serves a worthy lord. It is for such a man that we seek.
I have your word, and its proof shall be in your deeds. You sought a reward. You shall have it, and employment besides. I would have you train our Wallister loyals as guards and soldiers here in Almorica.
As you wish.
Now, Denham, your father was an Abuna in Goliath, was he not? I met him myself once. A wise man, Abuna Prancet. What happened in Goliath was a tragedy.
Please, Your Grace, you must avenge our father. No, all the people of Goliath.
Yet the enemy before us is Galgastan. They must come first. And for that, I will need knights. Knights such as yourselves. Will you join my table at Almorica?
Us? Knights?
As young heroes of Wallister, you will serve as a shining example to your clansmen. I would have you become knights in my direct service. Well, what say you?
Of course. I mean, as you wish, Your Grace. I know Denham's with me on this.
Excellent. Now, if you are to be a knightly order, you will require a name.
Alright, input the name for Denham's Order of Knights. You can input up to 12 characters, but this number may be limited by the width of the text. We're going to call ourselves the Order of Darkness because I think it's always very funny. The joke somehow never gets old to me. There we are.
What do you think?
Yes, a fine name. You'll go far, I'm certain. I have much for you to do. Your first task takes you to the town of Chrysara, to the southwest. The captain of my knights, Sir Leonard, has gone there in pursuit of the former overseer of this castle, a necromancer named Nibeth. Truth be told, he's having a harder time of it than was expected. You'll be going to Chrysara to aid him. Understood? Now before you leave, you'll want to fill your ranks with soldiers from Almorica and purchase such gear as you'll require. I expect you have little in way of coin, so I'm giving you 30,000 goth from the treasury, and a few of my own knights to serve under you.
You can count on us, Your Grace. We won't let you down.
Then may victory and glory await you, young heroes of Wallister.
Led us to gainful employ after all. My thanks.
No, it is I who should thank you.
So, you're off to aid one of the Duke's men. I regret we cannot join you. Above all else, stay alive. Win or lose, while there's life, there's hope.
I'll try to remember that.
Best not forget, the dead get no second chances.
If death were our aim, there are swifter ways to go about it than soldiery. We fight to live.
True enough. Still, do not needlessly seek out danger. Enough will find you as it is.
Of course.
You are the heroes of Goliath, are you not? I must thank you for saving His Grace the Duke. Indeed, accept my thanks on behalf of us all.
And you are?
Ravnus Loxarian, a knight in service of the Duke. I would ride to Leonard's aid myself, but His Grace has other need of me. I fear the task falls to you.
No need of fear, friend. We took back this castle, didn't we?
In a manner of speaking, I suppose.
And what manner would that be?
She and her fellow knights drew off the garrison defending the castle. Else, we would not have succeeded.
If it were not for the sacrifice of others, we would be no heroes of Goliath now.
Make no mistake, I have high hopes for you. We must unite the people behind us if we are to put an end to this endless war. Word of your heroics emboldens them.
Then you hold us up as heroes to serve some stratagem, is that it?
If you do not like it, give truth to the lie. Write your own fate on the battlefield.
May fate smile on us both, Dame Ravenous.
His Grace provided you with war funds, yes? Remember, they do no good sitting in your coffers. Arms, spells, provisions. Even a single magic ring can mean the difference between victory and defeat.
She thinks highly of herself. I pray we are not near when she falls from such height.
That's maybe a little bit of foreshadowing, huh? I like Ravenous. She it's kind of crazy how much she, or maybe it was intended that she looks so much like Agrius from Final Fantasy Tactics. Bryce wants to join the party. I'll just recruit him. I probably won't keep these guys. Nesta. Yeah, these are just kind of unnamed generics. Bruce. I may actually rename this guy. Bruce. Alright, so I got it. We're going with Merlin, even though it may be a little cringe. Done. The deal for letting him join was that we got to change his name. I'm gonna change this character's name as well to, that's right, another reference, this time to Triangle Strategy. I'm gonna call this healer Gila. Orwin. I'm just going to recruit him. I'm probably going to kick him out anyway. I don't like his starting element. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do. Titles command is now available. Let's go to, there it is, titles. But actually, yeah, that must be on now, right? Yeah, hero of course. Alright, let's go back to the party. I'm gonna unequip these guys. I don't know if when you kick characters out, if you actually still get their gear, like if they leave their gear. But I'm not gonna risk it. I'm just gonna get rid of all of it anyway. This is a joke, I'm not laughing. Oh. Same with this character as well. I'll be honest, I don't really like the archers. I may try to give them a little bit more of a shot this time around, but I don't know. I say that now, but I probably really won't. Again, I just didn't really like them the last time I played. But it seemed like their damage fell off. Merlin, Gila. Again, same deal. I don't really know if they keep their spells on them, but let's keep you. After all we've been through, you literally just joined us, guy. we been on about? Oh boy, I really need to do some work on my saves here too. Yeah, well maybe I'll do this stuff off screen. I'll probably delete a bunch of my old saves so I don't have to keep, you know, zipping through here. Or I guess I could just start a new save at the end of the list. I guess that would work too. Okay, so one of the first things that I'm going to do here is go into the shop, and I'll do a lot of this stuff off screen though as well, because I don't think it's going to be super fun watching me hire and or like test or check stats and then just check stats and then just and then kick them back out anyway. But yeah, we'll see. So it looks like we can either get Galgastan or Wallister recruits. I actually don't think that we really want to be... I'm going to have to check again, but I don't really think I want to hire any Galgastan troops. Maybe it doesn't really matter for the initial playthrough, but there is a recruit later on, and it'll be the Chaos route that has some issues if your Galgastani or Galgastani frame is too low. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it doesn't actually matter if you do hire them yourself. But generally speaking, you don't want Galgastan characters fighting each other, I believe it is. And again, I'll check into that again. But if I'm remembering correctly, that's the case where you don't want to have you don't want to hire Galgastan troops and then have them fighting enemy Galgastan troops. So again, I'll probably try to avoid that, and I'll actually just you know, hire a bunch of Wallister recruits instead. But one of the things that you want to do here, and we'll take a look here. So I'm going to try to actually let's try to hire a Enchantress first. So Enchantress is just the female version of the wizards. But let's, so we'll click on her. I'll probably go lawful alignment because, well, I don't know that it really matters that much, but let's take a look here at, okay, so actually you can see, so right now her, what I'm really looking for with the Enchantress is her int and mind stats. So int is going to deal more damage, you know, with spells. So what you can actually do here is back out and then go back to hire. And so here that says 3731 again. Now this one is only a 36 int, but it's up to 34 mind. And you can just keep doing this until you see, so like that there, this one is at 44 int, 42, 43, 37, 38, 37, 36, 43. And you can just keep repeating this process. It looks like it might be like 44 is the highest int that you can get. And, you know, that'll be important. You really don't want to have a really, really low int stat, you know, for a mage right as it's starting off. So I would just say keep that in mind. So what I'll do here is I'll kind of do the same thing with a bunch of different characters. And I'll do that off screen, though, just so that we don't have to see that. And then maybe I'll just show you my the knights that I end up going with. Okay, so let's just go over really quickly what I ended up doing here. So I'm planning on actually using a lot of generics and probably for a while. So these two are the ones that I actually recruited, and they actually started at level 3 along with the rest, well, I suppose Denim and Kashua. And then the rest of my recruits that I just picked up are all level 1. I think I went all... yeah, I went all Wallister. Right. I wanted to avoid the Galgastani because, again, there's if you're playing on the Chaos route, you really don't want to have Galgastanis basically killing each other because that lowers your what's called the Chaos frame. We won't be able to see exactly what that is until we've basically beat the game once. But just keep in mind that I think it's a good idea to avoid Galgastani soldiers in your party. So, all right. So I turned Denim over to Rune Fencer. I also don't really like that I selected Lightning Elemental, but I think I'll be fine. At the end of the day, that, you know, it affects your damage a little bit, but I think I may eventually swap him over to air. We'll see. Most of my units, at least the ones that I'm having like offensive units, I've given the air passive or element. But anyways, you want to generally match up your element though with your spells, and so I've got him with Lightning Bow as well as Instill Lightning. Instill Lightning is just an ability that will automatically trigger sometimes, and then it'll give you like lightning elemented attacks. I am actually going with a short sword and bow for the time being. Generally, I like to have rune fencers with spears, but because I'm planning on making Denim a ninja later, I actually want to get working on a bow and his bow abilities. Because I really like the finishers for bows. I like the finishers for daggers as well. I've got a video on kind of like the things that I like and hints and tips and stuff that I made a while back, and that's kind of one of the things that I pointed out. The problem with the bows and the daggers is they don't have really good like AoE damage, but that's not really what I'm looking for out of my weapon finishers anyway. So I think it's the bow and the dagger have really good kind of like utility finishers. So anyways, that's my thought process. Vice I'm not worried about, although I did give him a short sword and a bow for the time being. Actually, let's swap him over to dagger now that I think about it. It doesn't really matter that much because Vice isn't going to be hanging around, unfortunately, so sorry, spoiler alert. But I also did give Kashua a Spirit Surge for the time being. I may take that back off. There's just times where actually I don't really want her casting offensive spells. I want her to just be healing, but for the time being that'll be fine, I think. Merlin, I actually robbed him for the time being. I don't know if I'm going to be using him, but we'll see. And then Gila here just has the basic gear, and then she's got a heal spell. I need to buy her an exorcism spell eventually, but I ran out of cash, so that's going to have to wait. Jean, I gave her, this is a recruit that I just picked up. I've got a sticker on her, and then the basic gear, and then I've got Deadshot, Paralytic Wave, and Charm, and then I'm starting her off with the daggers. I actually really like giving daggers to the casters. Same thing with Morrigan. That's I just came off of playing Dragon Age Origins, so I'm referencing that game for Morrigan. But same setup, basically Deadshot, Paralytic Wave, Charm. I don't remember what I usually. I usually give the HP drain spell to the Enchantress later, but I don't think we've got access to that quite yet. And then here I've got a couple of Valkyries as well. Basically, again, same setup: Bronze Spears, Deadshot, Heal, and then Instill Air. Because again, both of these two are Air Elemental. And then I've got a Warrior as well for the time being. I think I'm going to make this character a Terror Knight eventually. But as of right now, she's got a Broadsword equipped, which is a two-handed sword. Basically, she'll be like a character that I'll use breach, or I'll use two breach things, which means, well, I like to set them up with two-handed swords, so that's what I'm going to go with for the time being. And then I did pick up another cleric over here, this Cordelia, with the heal spell, and again, another reference to Triangle Strategy, because I love that game. And then, yeah, that's really all she's got, though, right now, just heal. That's all I really need to do with her, but... anyways, that's going to be it for this one. We'll go and do an actual battle here in the next one. So, as always, hope the guide was helpful, and thank you for watching.